You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the waves.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by talking to our guests and identifying where they gained self-awareness, which I like to call the spark, and where they developed a self-concept, which in total becomes knowledge of self. And my guest today is the guest that he's been here before, but I had to bring him in because he hit me up. He said, let's do it for the culture. And then I have other questions too. Without further ado, Moon the Barber.
How y'all doing?
What's up, Moon?
Good.
How are you?
Good, man. I'm
How
happy
you
to
been?
be back. I'm happy to be back.
Now you got neck tattoos.
Yeah.
Matter of
That's my
months,
girl's
that's
name.
it. Your girl's name. Oh, yeah. Congratulations on the engagement.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I wanted to bring you
Yeah.
here. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So what's up, Moon? What's been happening other than the engagement? Like, what's up?
Man, just been busy just trying to make the barbershop happen. It's tough being a business owner, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything. Everyone wants to be a business owner, and it's cool. It has its perks, but man, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say, right?
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Only the strong survive.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring you one for the changes and adjustments that you've had, but I wanted to ask you, coming into the podcast and discussing the knowledge of self and the self-awareness and stuff, has it altered your decision-making throughout that time till now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I grew a lot since then. I mean, I don't really know how long ago that was, but
it was a couple.
It felt like almost a year.
Almost a year, because you were one of the first ones in the beginning, so it was good, 8 months around there.
I love what you're doing too.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to keep it going, but like everything, you have your doubts sometimes.
Yeah, we watch it at the barbershop.
Word?
Yeah.
What do they say?
Yeah, everyone loves it.
Yo,
they're
shout out
they're
to
like, no, that's
Motion
dope.
Barbershop.
Yeah, they're like, that's dope. Like, just the whole setup, everything is just
man.
fire.
That's a creative currency, man.
Yeah.
Roger has this place popping now. Now he's busy. Now he's tired.
Yeah.
Remember before he was telling us, take your time.
Yeah. And the podcasts nowadays are crazy. They're like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it, but
Depends.
it
man.
depends on the vibe.
I watch it in like segments.
Yeah,
So
for
I'll
sure.
watch 20 minutes, and then I'll finish it. Like the Joe Rogan one with what's this guy's name? The one that did Mel Gibson.
Yeah, no, that was a good
That
one.
one was a good one.
Yo, Mel Gibson's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude, but he's also a little sporadically crazy, which I like.
Well, I mean, yeah, everyone that is.
And the Woody, what's the guy's name? The guy
Harrison?
from Pulp Fiction? Not Pulp Fiction. He was just on right now. Bald-headed dude. He did.
Woody. I don't know if it was
he
Woody
was,
Harrison, but
It might be Woody Harrison. Yeah,
it sounds like it. Yeah, we watched a lot of that. But
Cool.
Yeah, but since then, though, since like the podcast, I feel like I grew a lot. I feel
what?
like
Like, tell us,
it just I don't know, the podcast, it was a cool experience. I ain't gonna lie, I felt like I was a little nervous the first time.
Yeah, I know you were sweating.
Yeah, I was sweating. I wore a hat this time just in case. But I feel better though. I feel more comfortable. I feel like I grew a lot since then. Like
All right,
just
so
everything.
When you did come, we talked about your upbringings and all that. We know you're from Broward.
Yeah.
We know how you started cutting. We know that the move you made. And if you guys want to know, go watch the podcast with Moon the Barber and you'll see it.
Yeah.
And then we also talked about how you managed to go from suite to shop, and then you did both at the same time, and then you decided to open up the shop. We discussed that. Then we discussed a few questions at the end. So tell me, man, like, what part of from the last time we were here to now do you consider like that you used your self-awareness, that you used the self-concept from the shop?
From the shop. I mean, I don't know, just mainly just learning the ins and outs, and like you kind of go into the business thinking like you have a certain way that you want to do it, right? Because it's your business. You want to be creative. You want to do it your way. But there's just some things that you have to do no matter what. Like you have to, they're foundational things. Like and it's small things.
One small thing that you could think of right now that'd be like, damn, this was not what I thought.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, everyone in the barbershop, like take an initiative to dress nice, like more uniform.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you got clients walk in and they don't know who's the barber and who's the customer.
Yeah, I know that. as owners and OGs,
Yeah.
we understand because
Yeah.
that's the next level.
Yeah.
But as barbers, I became a barber, so I could do whatever I want.
And that's the thing. Barbers become barbers because we're rebels. Like the old
Artists.
school ones. Like now it's different with social media. People want to become barbers because they see it on social media
Yeah,
and
it's
they think it's cool.
glamorized.
But before we did barbers out of necessity. Like
Correct. Feed our families.
yeah, I got to make some money, and like we kind of did it for fun, and then it ended up becoming a job, and it wasn't even the best job. Like we talked before, it was kind of looked down upon. Like, oh, I'm a barber. Well, what you gonna be with when you grow up or in the future?
Yeah, man.
But now that it's lucrative, people want to get into it.
You know how lucrative?
Yeah.
I was
But
reading
it's
an
crazy.
article. You know how much you think a barber industry brings in yearly?
As a whole, it's got to be almost to $1 billion. Yeah,
It's in those numbers.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
yeah,
And then I started thinking about it. I was like, yo, man, because we are in the game for so long, we should see the angles that are coming, but it's hard to like identify it
yeah.
because there's so many barbers, there's so many influencers, and now you got both in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. How do you identify the elite from the good? Because now it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I think it's just like it all goes back to
What you're talking
Like,
about,
yeah,
your
like-
presence.
your presence and not only that, but you're like the fruit of your labor. Like you can make it seem glamorous, but like do you have fruit to show for that? I'm sure that there's guys on Instagram right now with a crazy following and it looks good,
Yeah,
but they're struggling at the barbershop on a Thursday or a Friday when
yeah.
you're supposed to be
That's
booked.
why I asked that question. How do you identify the good from the elite?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like the elite are too busy doing what they're doing, making the money to do these type of like skits and plan
Yeah.
this out. And
Yeah.
too much
It's
time on your
fun.
hands.
It's different stuff. It's fun to do when you're bored at the barbershop, I guess.
Correct.
But
I don't know if it's good. They probably dedicate
like
a whole day. to that.
I kind of had Instagram when I probably like in 2013 when like that was probably when I first started getting Instagram, like 2010, 2013, around that time, and I feel like it didn't have what it has now. It was just like posting a picture. Now you
now
could
it
do a
blew
reel and this and that and connect it to the TikTok, and now it's
evolved.
funny
You
and
gotta
it's
evolve with
viral
it.
and everybody wants to go viral, you know. But I think
What is
longevity,
viral?
like
to me, I'm like I laugh.
yeah.
Oh, I went viral. Like okay.
Yeah. To me, the best way to go viral is to just be organic and then not try to go viral. That's the best viral stuff.
It's like Nas says it on his rhyme when he goes, "Oh, you went platinum once. That's nice.
Yeah.
Let me see you do the same thing twice,
Yeah,
3
yeah.
times, 4 times, then a couple of more times."
Hey,
So it's like, okay, you went viral, cool. Do it again. Do it again. Do
Yeah.
it again. Not saying that it's easy, guys.
I think it all comes down to work ethic. Like you have to be consistent in the barber game.
I think it's an art form that should be expressed by that individual very, I guess, clear and real. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because a lot of barbers are trying to be like that guy I saw.
Yeah.
I guess it applies to all arts and sports and music and,
Yeah.
oh, I like that. I'm going to do it like that.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, like you said, barbers were like, okay, you're a barber, cool, whatever. You would create your own little style
Yeah.
and your way you cut and what you do. Nowadays, I guess a lot of cookie cutter.
Yeah. I mean, you're able to mimic like stuff you see on social media. Like before, like you know how Philly, they had like certain style.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, it used to be like, give me a Brooklyn, like
Or
a
a Philly-
Brook, like
Philly
a
fade.
Brook, like a temp fade was like a Brook.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like someone from Jersey would come in the shop and be like, "Yo, give me a Brook,
Yeah, no, now everybody knows what
a
it
three.
is.
Let me get a 3 with a Brook," and that to me is a blowout, you know. But it's just now a Brook could be posted, like let's say a quote unquote Brook could be in New York, posted on the Instagram. Someone in Miami could see it and say, "I want that haircut." Now it's everyone in Miami got this haircut.
Correct.
You feel me? So now you can't dictate the style from the region. Like I could be like, oh, back in the day, you could see someone's haircut and be like, that guy got to be from Philly. That guy got to be from Texas.
Oh, he's not from around
Yeah,
here.
from Louisiana with a boosie fade. That was like a Louisiana thing. Now you could get a boosie fade in Miami. You know, it's
but
a
Miami
mix. It's
had
kind of
it.
like tattoos too. Tattoos had a Cali had a style.
No, it's all the southern region.
The East
man,
Coast had a
because
style.
if you
Social
think-
media
If you think about it,
mixed
man,
it all up.
If you think about it, I think these styles came from like necessity because all the southern states, we all had high skin fades.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's hot.
It's hot. gold teeth, skin fades. That was like the Dade
That
County
was the
Chico
Dade County
vibe.
Chico with the Dickies
Yeah.
and the
By
white
10th
tee
grade,
with
if
your
you didn't
Jordans.
have that going on, you wasn't really doing it.
So in New York, what do you got? It's cold. You always got the Scully on. You know, it's
With
different.
the Timbs,
With the Timbs, and you'll get a blowout. You get a 10 fade, whatever you guys want to
you
call
had
it.
the wave cap.
Exactly, with the do-rags, and that's where it came about. And then you go to other places like in Cali.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to put a do-rag on and my hair used to poke out the top of it. And I was like, fuck, I'm white.
So let me ask you something. Why
I can't rock this.
Why would you do it? For the look?
Yeah, for the look. This is like Nelly and shit, like with the Band-Aid.
Never thought
Fifth
about
grade,
that. This is for a need.
I wasn't thinking that it was for waves. I was throwing it on my head, putting it on and being like, nah, this ain't right. Because my hair stick out the top.
That's the problem with the culture, man, that people don't really understand what it's
But it
about.
was fun though. I was a kid. Like I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, but it goes to like what
Because
you're
now I
saying.
know the use of it.
No, it goes to what you were saying. Like, how do I get these guys to dress up better?
Yeah.
Like, do you know why? Like, there's a reason why. And then I always give this reason to all of my teammates. I always tell them, I was like, yo, man, when you go to a restaurant, how do you dress? Oh, I gotta get dressed up to the best. Okay, cool. When you come to work, you come dressed like a bum. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna go somewhere to give your money away. You dress the best you can. And then when you're somewhere to get people's money, you look like a bum. I'm like, yo,
I
that
never
makes
made it that.
no sense.
I never thought of that.
That never makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm like happy to give away my money, but to get my money, I'm like, oh, like, damn, I wish I
Yeah,
was.
right. That's facts.
So that makes your
See,
mind.
that's one gem that I'm gonna take from this.
There you go.
I never thought about it that way.
Because there's times that I sit, not meditate, but I think thoroughly of like, yo, why isn't this person like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even back in the day, I would want to wear my nice kicks and my nice gear. That was just my personality trait, my awareness, like self-concept.
Yeah.
You know, you would never catch Gene looking bummy. So you know what I'm saying? But there's cats that come in like, oh, I don't want to wear my nice shoes because they're gonna get hair on them.
Yeah. All my shoes have hair. Everything I own has hair.
I'm
I
like,
can't give a birthday card
their
to
shoes,
somebody
they're not gonna
without
last
having hair
forever.
in it.
Just buy new shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but come looking nice or get some boots.
Yeah.
You get yourself some nice boots. You know what's the secret? I'm gonna give you guys the secret. Leather laces. There you go. You get white on whites, leather laces, you're good.
Or you get some bell bottoms and let them hang over the laces.
That's now because of the whole Kendrick thing, man. You're like the 8th person today I've seen with bell bottoms.
Yeah, these are my friend made these. My boy Pat. He has a clothing line called Jewelry.
They look comfortable as hell.
They're super comfortable. Yeah, so I figured I'd throw them on, you know?
Nice. So again, we're trying to get people to understand that self-concept. If you want to make more money, you got to look the part. Why? Because you want to bring those high-end clients.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a high-end type of dude, but I like to go to places that
I feel you. I'm the same.
it's comfortable, it's nice, everybody's on a professional tip. When you go to somewhere else and it's a little iffy, you know, at my age or my mindset, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
maybe you could tell your barbers that, man. Be like, yo, guys.
One of my barber's dresses fly all the time.
That's fire.
Easy.
I'm
Always.
sure he's the one that's the busiest one.
Yeah, you know, he's super busy. He's crazy, but he's busy. You know? He's like a
Crazy's
true...
good in a barbershop.
Yeah, like
Crazy's
you need
good
a
in
guy like Beezy to be in the barbershop.
I don't want a normal barbershop.
Yeah, like people love him, man. He's an awesome dude.
To be honest with you, I don't know what a normal barbershop is because I've always been part of crazy barbershops. Or I don't know if all barbershops are crazy.
There's no barbershop that's normal, I don't think.
There actually is, though. I've gone to some. And if people are there and it's like a different conversation, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm there like, yo, this is... Because the barber, the owner, he cuts out the bad elements, you know what I'm saying? And he only brings like the type of people that he wants.
Yeah.
And
no, I feel you.
And I'm friends with everybody. I'm cool with everybody. So this is like, you know, a different type of dude. I went to the barbershop. I checked it out. And I'm like, yo, this is how you guys work every day? He's like, yeah, man, we're good. But I'm talking about music very low. Everything is like calm. The clients that come in are very like introverted.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so there's a market for this.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's I mean, that's one reason why a lot of guys go to the suite is because they trying to control their environment.
And then they realize that they're lonely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it takes a different type of person to do
Dude,
that.
you're locked up in a place. You see some different.
I've done it. I've done.
So
I've been down that road, man. It's cool.
help be the GPS for these kids, all right? Because sometimes they're going down the road.
Let's talk about that.
And they don't understand. Because that's one thing that Moon told me is like, yo, I got to get back on the podcast. I said, let's do it. Because You're welcome whenever you want. And he's like, let's do it for the culture. I was like, hell yeah. See, I got motivated. Why? Because it is a culture, guys. It is a work culture. Yeah. And if you don't treat it as such, it might turn into something else, kind of like hip hop. Let's learn.
Yeah, let's inspire somebody.
Let's inspire people to keep it as thorough and real as possible to another level, because I don't know anybody else that would trailblaze like my generation. My generation, 90s and early 2000s, we like bum rushed it.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, oh, everybody's partying, everybody's looking fly. All right, we're the guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that's providing that. It was no fear. You can't have fear. Yeah. But in that time, I'll say it, we were so dumb, we didn't have fear because we were like invincible. Yeah. Because when you're at that age, you're like, oh, I know what's going on and don't worry about it. And then when you're making that type of money, I don't know about you, but I was making like $500-$600 back in the day. Almost a day. I was like, whoa. And I was working from 9 to 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. I was making bread. Yeah. And I would go out and I would spend all of it.
Yeah, that's how it was. Because you knew that you were going to make it back the next day, but that's the worst mentality to have.
Yes. Why? Because it's addicting. Tomorrow's never promised, and it's addicting. And then next thing you know, 5-6 years passed.
Yeah, boom. You burnt through it all.
And you're like, what? And now $500-$600 ain't that much. Yeah. But you can't go to the elite, high-end clientele because you haven't progressed. Yeah. You stayed stuck there. Yeah. So let's go. Let's talk about the gear. What do you think about the gear? Like, how would you want a barber in your shop to look?
I mean, honestly, I've been struggling with that. I've been struggling with forcing that on my guys because I've been a barber for so long. So I've only been an owner for a year and a half. You know, so I'm learning too. So what's I'm the learning difference? Too. I'm learning difference? How to be like. How do I be stern without being an a-hole? How do I?
You're not being an
a-hole. No, I'm not. But it's like you don't want to. I love my guys. You know what I'm saying? And they're my boys. But at the same time, I want the best for them. So I try to preach that. And you know, you can't force anything on anybody. You could just only try to inspire it. You know what I'm saying? And be an example. So I try to be hard on myself. And sometimes I probably self-condemn myself more so than I should. But I do it a lot because I want to be the best example I could be for my guys. You know what I'm saying?
But believe it or not, man, I've realized, like, you know, I'm a thinker. So I think and I stand. People are so entertained and distracted and focused on the wrong thing that whatever you say just.
Yeah. But like you said before, like barbers are barbers to be free. They want to express themselves through their clothes and everything.
So this is another gem I'm going to give you that I've been using, and all you barbershop owners could use this, and it works. I have maybe 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes in the day from 9 to 8 o'clock to do things. But I'm the one that sweeps the most in the shop.
Yeah. I always say that. Like, sometimes I forget how much hair I sweep or like how much sweeping I do. Like, I'll be in the middle of sweeping some shit and I'll be like, damn, I'm pretty good at sweeping. And then I realize I sweep all the time. You know, I kind of love sweeping. It's therapeutic.
There you go. So I tell people, like, yo, how come I'm the busiest guy and I'm sweeping the most? And they all get stuck. They're like, I'm like, listen, man, I don't do it for you.
But you're so routine.
I do it because it's my character. Yeah. I'm self-aware. My self-concept is, always be the best that you could be at whatever you do. Yeah. So if I'm at a shop.
No, but yeah, I hear you. My dogs, everybody there at my shop, though, we be sweeping, though.
Yeah, everybody but you and I be looking at it. Like, when we worked, I would see you, and I would even tell you, I was like, yo, thank you, Moon. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, man, I just, I'm just doing part what I do. And I was like, word. And then it made me feel like, okay, there's somebody like me. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah, because it's just part of the job.
It's second nature. One, for the look. Two, because everybody has to put in their work. And then how the other barbers feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if they see the owner sweeping, they're like, oh.
But then if they see it, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different vibe, and it all comes from love and knowledge of self. Yeah. Who you are. If you're a person that doesn't really care, you don't care. Yeah. I've told that to barbers too. I was like, look, man, I don't expect you because I know you don't care. Yeah. Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, whoa. I'm like, dude, whatever you tell me, I hear you. Yeah. But I see what you do. Yeah. So I'm going to believe what I see rather than what you say.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, bro. And then all of a sudden they switch, they flip.
Yeah.
They start sweeping more. They start doing everything more without me even telling them that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That little conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a conversation with an OG that stuck to you. Like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we were just having the conversation about you go dressed up nice and go spend your money. But to make money, you look at shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that everyone looks like shit, but it's like
No,
I'm struggling. Like, you know, is wearing a uniform better than not wearing a uniform? Could you dress nice and not wear a uniform, or could you wear a uniform?
I mean, you did the Barber Strong ad.
I've done everything. I've wore a uniform. I've done.
What do you feel about the Barber Strong?
I like
Barber
Strong.
Strong.
Shout out to Barber Strong. I like Barber Strong.
I got the jacket. It's fire.
Yeah,
it's comfortable. It's chill.
We were just talking about all grabbing those.
That's a good look.
Yeah,
but the thing with that is,
got a couple of them.
I've talked to Freddy's, the owner of Spot Barbershop, about that, and it's about originality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why all the chairs are not the same, because it's originality.
Yeah.
Like if you go in there and all the chairs are the same, all the mirrors are the same, everything's the same, you're like, okay, I'm in. But if you go somewhere and there's little, like your eyes don't stop looking.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
it's like a
key.
museum when you walk in there.
Correct. You walk in and you kind of like, oh, your eyes don't stop. Like, this is all. And then you go to the bathroom. Oh, shit. Oh, and then more and more. And every time you come, we add. We keep adding.
Notice something.
So something, you know, it could be art. It could be a sculpture. It could be whatever.
I always drive by the shop and I look in there. I always be like, oh, they always did this. They added this in the back.
Like a stalker, like a driver?
No, I stay in Coral Gables.
Oh, you stay? You're not?
Yeah, I stay in the Gables. So when I drive down Ponce, you know, I'll just look over there and see. Sometimes I say what's up to Danny.
You don't say what's up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, D?
Yeah, I say what's up to Danny. I'll be
He's
riding
the
my bike
man.
down that way, and
He's the what is it? The 60-second assassin? He's a quiet guy, man.
Yeah, he's super quiet. I remember he used to cut hair with the AirPods all the time.
I used to hate that though.
I know. I had a boss that hated that too. He did not like that.
Because dude, if I have to yell at you or go walk up to you and tap you so you can pay attention, it's like, yo, man, like have one. You know, you don't have to have both. But I get it though. We're artists. We do our own thing.
Trying to be in your own vibe.
So other than that, other than getting the whole team to see your vision, what other like obstacles are you facing?
I feel like going back to all the barbers on Instagram, I feel like there's mad barbers on Instagram, but there's like no barbers in real life. Like,
okay, let's get into it. What do you mean about that? Like,
there's so many people on Instagram cutting hair, but you don't see them in the barbershop. Like, you know, like barbershops need barbers. Every barbershop, hiring for sure. They need barbers. But on Instagram, it's because I think everyone wants to be their own boss nowadays. Like this young generation, they want to be their own boss.
But there's nothing wrong with it.
No, that's fine. But the thing is, it's not as easy as it seems.
I know it's not easy as it seems, but sometimes you need like, okay, so in the podcast, we talk about that. We're like, have no fear. Like, go do you.
Yeah.
But then when they do what they want to do, we're like, oh, there's no more barbers. I think a barber needs a barber shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's honestly, it's really up to you, but it's just different. There's pros and cons to it. It's not either one's are better or one's worse. It's pros and cons.
It's traditional.
Yeah.
A barber shop is a staple.
Yeah.
In any neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or city.
Just if you get a suite, you better have your own brand. Like, you can't be a new barber, fresh out of barber school, and go get a suite. It's going to be hard for you because you don't really have a brand.
Or it might be just temporary because right now that's like the norm.
Well, that's the thing. It is temporary. Every suite is temporary, no matter how you see it, because they're going to keep putting the rent up on you. Every year they put the rent higher and higher and higher. Now you're paying your third year in, and time flies. You just started getting your business rolling 2 years in, and then on your third year, you're getting hit with $500 a week for your 10 by 10 space. And now it forces your hand. It's either pay it or move. And a lot of people, what they do is they get a bigger suite, bring another barber in, they split the rent, you know what I'm saying? And then the rent goes up on that. And then either, something happens.
What about the barbers that succeed?
There's barbers that succeed. But the thing is that it's only going to be to a certain level because you're constantly working for yourself. to really succeed in the barbershop, you don't want to work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like to really succeed as a barber, you're gonna have to own a barbershop and not work anymore.
Not working.
Because the only way to make money as a barber is to work. And the only way to make money as a barber that is not working is to have a barbershop.
Let me ask you this.
You could be a stockbroker. He does a million things, but I'm talking about cutting hair. I'm talking about clipper over comb, scissors.
If you got to that point that you didn't have to cut hair, would you stop cutting hair?
No. I don't.
That is the difference.
I wouldn't never stop cutting hair. I would cut hair at least one day a week. If I could be a millionaire, I would still have a day where I cut somebody.
To me, that's the difference.
You know, if it was myself or it was my homie or I would be trimming my dog's hair, I would have to use the clippers because why? I just love them. I just love the clippers.
Dude, I was told one time, like, oh, I want you to make more money this so I could take you away from behind the chair. I'm like, what? That didn't sound lucrative or even exciting to me. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, I like cutting hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't cut hair out of necessity.
Yeah.
You know, I have a bachelor's degree. I could go work. I left a $100,000 paying job, close to $2,000, for what? To go cut hair.
Yeah.
My family, friends that knew, they were like, yo, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy, man. No.
For me, I just love it.
Dude, I don't like that feeling.
And it happens to pay decent, so it's awesome.
It wasn't even about that pay, man. It was just about, what am I going to do? For instance, like the other day I was talking to an older gentleman, man. Awesome. He has to be royalty. Because now I'm at the New World Center, the Miami World Center.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole luxury right under the Paramount building is amazing. Amazing shop. You got to pass by. And I became really high-end clients.
Yeah.
And I was cutting a gentleman from Turkey, man, and he was telling me how he just bought 8,000 square foot loft for his family because he doesn't like when they come and mess up all his house, so he just bought that for them. That's the type of client that I was dealing with. And on top of that, when I finished the service, he was so happy. Check this out. He goes, all right, put the tip. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, how much you want me to put? He's like, you put what you think. And I was like, what? You want me to put what I think I should get? And he's like, yeah. I didn't want to be crazy, but at the same time, I'm like, okay. So I put $100. He goes, okay. He goes, boop. He looked at me. He goes, you should have put another zero. And he left. He left me with that shit. And I'm there looking at him like, and then before he went, he goes, I'll be back. I go, okay, cool. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, wow.
What do you think that was?
I don't know. That's why I was like, wow.
That was a lesson or what?
Of course it was a lesson.
Yeah, I feel you. I learn those lessons all the time.
Because I had to deal with, okay, my worth, but I didn't want to be like crazy. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to devalue myself. So I was caught in a situation where I had to make a decision. And for me, $100 tip is decent.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking you're a prince in Turkey that owns countries. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yo, we have to do this podcast to explain to people. Because I've cut celebrities before.
Yeah.
They don't tip. They don't even give you bread. They want you to do it for free. Bro, I'll post you on the gram. I don't need that shit. That shit's not going to make money for me. That's just me. If it works for you, cool. But like now I'm dealing with these type of like high corporate people.
Sultans.
That make
princes.
300, 400, 500, 600, almost $500,000 yearly chilling.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with
$500,000.
No, I don't know about that. Because that's nuts. That was that guy from Turkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He would have gave me $1,000 tip if I would have put $1,000 tip. I think
you got to push it to the limit with those guys. Blank check guys. Just be like, yo.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be like $1,000. He would have looked at me like, you're crazy. I would have been like, oh. You know?
If you said it.
I know.
Damn, you delete it.
But check it. That's what we got to deal with nowadays. So it goes to what we were talking about. Then now, okay, now instead when you're going to go make money, look your best.
Yeah.
Why? Because maybe if I was looking bumming that day, he would have not appreciated the service. Yeah. Or he would have not considered me top elite ranked barber.
We all dressed fresh today at work. It felt great.
Right?
Beezy had a blazer. Oof. I had a nice tee on, nice pants.
You had those, the bell-bottom one?
No, I had some other black pants.
Oh, this is just for the pod.
I threw these because I was like, it's for the pod.
Let me
be comfortable. Yeah.
So the shop is there. You're making decisions. You're trying to get everybody on the same page. It's difficult.
Yeah, getting barbers. I mean, getting barbers is kind of it's hard, but it's not, because now once you get the barbers, now it's like a whole nother progress, a whole nother thing. You got to make sure they're a vibe, they're good, they fit in with the shop, because now you start trying to jam people. I mean, at least my shops are different. They're bigger. They're, you got more space to do. You got 12 chairs, 20 chairs, different types of barbershops. But I have 7 chairs. It's like it's not small, but it's not gigantic. So you got to have the right team to be in there.
Yeah, you got to know.
And I'm trying to do something. Maybe I'm being too particular.
No,
but I have a vision in mind, and I want to get there, and I know what I'm looking for. And if you're not like that,
self-awareness,
then that's it. Yeah.
Self-concept, knowledge of self. You know what you want. You don't buckle. You don't say, okay, well, I'll deal. No, if this is not what it is, not what it is, man.
I have one of my homies, he just started cutting hair. Turbo. He just started barber school, and he doesn't even have a pair of clippers yet, and he's already done like 2-3 haircuts, on his friends, on one of my guys, just practicing on us, because he's hungry to learn. And I'm willing to teach someone like that versus somebody that thinks they know everything.
You know what that's called? Artist fellowship.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
Artist fellowship. Yeah. Like Leonardo da Vinci, somebody taught him. You feel me? Like somebody showed
Picasso,
him.
His dad.
Exactly. And from the teachings, that's why it's very important, man, when you talk to these young bloods and you're like, yo, check it. This is the way I did it.
Yeah. And we got a lot of different, we have a different knowledge set because we're from the old school and we experienced the new stuff.
Yeah, we were still progressing.
We're hybrids.
Even though I don't know, the new school kind of let me down a little bit, man, because I don't know what to think anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Some of these new barbers are doing it. Like
doing what?
No, I'm saying they progress fast. Ones that take advantage. I'm not talking about just new, because there's new barbers that are really
progression.
hungry.
How?
For instance, I'll never forget. There was this kid, right? He would DM me. He would be like, "Yo, what's up? I heard that you're the barber around here. You're a good barber. What's up? How, put me on or hook me up or how do you do?" I'm like, at the time I was young, I didn't know how to explain to him I'm doing the same thing you're doing. The clients that I have, whether they're athletes, famous or whatever, how I got them, by the grace of God. Did I do anything special? Not really. One day one came to me and that was that.
Prepared?
Exactly. So I didn't really know how to explain to him at the time, but I guess he looked up to me in a way. I inspired him, so I always kept a relationship with him. He was always mad cool, and now he cuts up rappers.
Also, he went.
He was asking me. He was asking me to put him on, and now he's cutting more famous people than I ever could have.
Exactly, and I'm like, what we're talking about.
And I'm like, you see how that works? Just patience.
Patience.
He
hard
did it,
work.
and I always look at his Instagram, and I'm so proud of him. His name's Armani, the bouncy barber. Yeah, he cuts mad rappers. No, I'm so proud of that kid, because there was a day where that wasn't in the cards for him, but he created that through his hard work.
Yeah, the words you told him, and you
I told
shared
him
with
I
him?
had a house call. I couldn't get to a house call the other day. I sent it to him. He went boom, and you would think dude, he's cutting up rappers. He didn't even know who it was. I just said it's a VIP. One of my clients was like, "Yo, I have a VIP. They need to get taken care of," and I was like, "I can't do it, but I'll send somebody." And he went, took care of him. So it's shout out to him, man. He's rocking out. He's doing big things right now. So
hell yeah.
Shout out to
progression.
Armani.
How do you think we're progressing?
Man, I feel like I'm growing up. I feel like I've just been going through growing pains, man. I see myself changing. I feel it. I'm just growing up. I'm kind of hating things I used to love, starting to hate things I used to love.
You said, all right, let's do this podcast for the culture. So it got me thinking. And I started thinking of barbers that are good. But now what I'm seeing are stylists that are learning how to use the clippers.
Fire.
And now the barbers are back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the progression. Now you have to learn how to use the shears.
I love the shears.
At a high level.
Yeah.
To get to a even level with these stylists that are now killing it. And guess what? They're women. Because I'm seeing more and more women they're out of control, bro, because they could do any style, any cut, any shade, any fade. And it's oh, wow, okay. they're progressing. So that's why I wanted to ask you, how do you think we're progressing? Because
But that's good though.
I don't
Because
see barbers progressing.
That means that I feel like, women, they've always charged more than us. They go get a haircut,
stylists.
a blow dry, and
Yeah,
a
but
trim.
that's a 4 hour.
185.
To do that.
You know,
I don't want to be able to climb for 4 hours. Bro.
but you might have or an hour and a half. If she's good or if she's fast.
Okay.
But I feel like that meshing with the barber is just gonna raise up the prices of our haircuts.
Correct.
It's like
but you have to be, like you said, ready.
Yeah, you have to be ready. You have to know it, because also the clients are on social media looking at all these new techniques and what's going on, and they're going to a barbershop, so they're expecting that. They have a, what is it called? They have a standard that they're looking for. They see something. It's no longer, oh, this haircut. Hey, could you give me this haircut? No, it's a full-blown reel of a stylist doing it step by step.
Dude,
So if you ain't doing it like that, you ain't doing it.
So I have a client that he goes to a hairstylist to blow dry his hair because he likes this like wavy, I don't know what to call it, man, but he gets this crazy, they blow dry it and they make it look, which I'm like, I could get it close to that, but I'll be honest with you, bro. The way they make it seem is like all one piece, you know?
Yeah.
And then he comes to me to give him a skin fade. And I'm like, yo, why don't you just get the fade over there? He's like, nah, they can't fade like you, Gene. I'm like, okay. And I go, you want me to try to blow dry it? He's like, Gene, honestly, the time and attention and attention to detail that they do on this blow dry,
This guy's crazy.
it's on another level. And I'm like, yo, you're spending close to like $200 over there. You're coming over here paying $100. It's like, and then he's like, yeah, but
My dog's looking good though.
bro,
He's got the vibe with the
and he needs it because he's kind of like an
fade.
influencer, but he meets with like millionaires and talks, and then
So he's got to be on point.
dude, all the haircuts are always a conversation piece. And he tells me, he's like, yo, your fades are always a conversation piece.
That's dope.
Like people will be like, yeah, who cuts your hair, man? Oh man, it's amazing. Da, 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 da. And then he puts me down, and then I'll have those type of clientele. So it's like, oh wow, you feel me? So progression, I think women are progressing more than men. Yeah, I said it. And I think that women have more attention to detail and have brought in that sheer game.
Yeah.
In Miami, there's a few cats. I had Roddy here. Roddy is a sheer game genius. That guy, like Edward Scissorhands. There's Dario. He works in a shop here nearby. He's nice with it. He came from Argentina.
Fire.
Worked his whole life in his mom's salon, and then he started learning how to cut. Now he's nasty. He worked with me for like a year, and I showed him a little bit of tricks, a little bit of this and that, and then he showed me as well.
Dope.
So exactly, man. That's why I asked you, how do you think we progress?
That's another thing. The barbershop is a networking place. You can't really network too much in a suite. Like you could with the girls around you, but in a lot of suites is you like only a couple barbers. I remember I was in a building one time that we were the only barbershop, and we were loose. We were crazy. I can't believe we even lasted over there. We almost blew the roof off that place.
Wow.
It was fun. But it's a different type of vibe. Like I don't know. The networking in the barbershop is unmatched. You never know who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna see.
Which is the good, exciting part, right?
And then you got all your connections, all your barbers. They work with you. You got their guys.
Yeah, how many times you ask, yo, anybody got a hookup? I'm going to the roof of crib.
Ain't it cool? Like when you're mad cool with the other barber's client.
I've never liked that. I've never liked that. I don't like when I'm cutting hair and then you're talking to my client. I'm looking at you like.
Yo, that's another thing. Yo, I used to share a suite with my dog Chamo for like 3 years. We worked together. That was my boy. And yo, he hated when I talked to his clients. He used to look at me like,
you could talk to him, but like,
Moon, cut it
hey,
out.
what's up?
Okay,
Cool.
He's doing the beard, and I'm like, yo, what's good?
Yeah, no, you can't do it.
Nah, I know, but that's just, you get carried away in a barbershop, man. I'm telling you, you start cutting it. It's like, you feel so at home that.
Yeah, but chill. You can't do that, and you can't be screaming across the way like, yeah, no.
Nah. None of that. But, it's just funny when you got a good relationship with other clients.
That's key.
Yeah. And they're not even, I don't even cut their hair, but I'm mad cool with them.
So good relationship. Let's go there, because honestly, I wanted to come here, talk about the culture, talk about Barber, but you've been engaged.
Yeah.
I want to go there because it's knowledge itself.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've ever been engaged?
First time.
So
Crazy.
let's talk about that because
I mean, it's crazy in a good way.
yeah, obviously. So came to the podcast. I remember she was here. We hung out. Cool girl. Shout out. And from then to when you got engaged, what was the self-concept, self-awareness, knowledge of self? Where did you get to the point? Okay, I'm gonna propose.
I don't know. When I first met Devin, I used to like see like myself getting married to her. Like I would see it.
Really?
I didn't know what it was at the time, but I know it was
See
just
it,
God
like-
telling me like this is the one for you. Even though like if you want to go against it, because
Really?
I wasn't perfect. You know, like I might have at times might have gone against what God was telling me to do, but I felt it in my heart to just do it because I never met nobody that is like my best friend like
I know
how
how
she
you feel.
is, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like I just wanted to just do the right thing.
I relate 100%.
You know? I wanted to do the right thing and you know.
So when you started having these thoughts and you were like thinking
I started
about,
saving money.
you're like,
I
yo, I
gotta
want to
buy
get
a
this
ring.
ring. Yo,
Yeah.
that ring is nuts.
Yeah, I love it.
Me too. When I
Yeah.
saw it, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, she loves it. It's
man,
dope.
because I know the mission I went for my wedding when I proposed to my girl, and I was like, yo, I know what you went through.
Yeah, but it's like a sense of relief. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, don't get married," but
I mean, dude,
I thought, like, why not? It's cool.
I
It's cool to be married.
had that
Like,
conversation.
I think it's cool.
I had that conversation with my girl because she was for like getting married, and I was like, to sign a paper? You want me to sign a paper that's gonna make it official? Signing a paper,
I was
like
like,
ink to a paper.
you just want my last name.
I was like,
because it's cool.
So check it. That's how me and my girl got engaged because we would go on vacations, like amazing vacations, and we would check in, and then they would call my last name out, and then they'll call her name out. So everything, it was always separate, right? Like me and the kids, my name, and she was separate. So one day she approached me and she said, "Hey, do you mind if I change my name?" And I was like, "Oh, what's wrong with Amanda?" You know, like she's like, "No, my last name's silly." And I'm like, "What are you gonna change it to?" And then she's like, "Really? I'm gonna change it to your last name." I'm like, "Why you want to do that?" And then she told me, she's like, "No, because when we check into places, when you introduce me to people, I feel a little left out." And I was like, "Oh." So never was it like, "Oh, I want you to get married," because you know, it was more of a feeling thing. So that's when I was like, okay, now we could talk. Because when it was about paper, like, you want me to sign a paper? I don't understand that, dude. Like, okay, let's go sign a paper. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what is... So, like, back in the days before you had legal terms, how would you get married with with a partner or your loved one? How does that work?
I don't know.
Under God, right?
Yeah, you
And
just do it. You have someone that's married.
And
you
before
guys.
the whole the religion thing happened, before in front of your loved ones, like, yo, this is my wife. This is the woman that I'm with. That's where I'm like, I don't know, call it barbaric, call it crazy, but I'm there. I'm like, yo, this is my girl. This is my wife. This is her. You want my last name? Take it. But you want me to go sign a paper? Like, come on, man. But that's why I wanted to talk to you about that, because I'm like, okay, you are never been engaged, started the barbershop. It feels like you were building up your self concept.
It's a lot of growth going on. A lot of growth going on. It's good, but it's a learning experience.
But that's great. But
I love a challenge though. I like challenging stuff.
I don't think it's a challenge, man. Love is not a challenge.
No, not love. I mean, it kind of is, but it's good. It's a good challenge though, because it makes you better. You know what I'm saying? If it was a challenge that didn't get you nowhere, then it's not a challenge. It's just an obstacle, or in a bad way,
or a weight.
Yeah, or a weight. The old ball and chain.
That you're like, exactly.
Yeah, she has to be an asset. She can't be a liability.
So now the whole self-awareness, self-concept, knowledge of self is you with her, united.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels good. She helps me with everything. Like my brand, I help her with her brand. You know, we bounce ideas off each other.
Best friends, right?
Yeah, we really like be creative together for real.
I mean, I try to talk to clients, like younger clients. Like I explained to them how I got engaged and why and the whole thing. They're like, oh, and then because once I get confidence with them, I kind of ask them like, yo, man, like, do you really want to get married? And then they're like, yeah, man, you know, it's the next step. You know, we've been together for 2 years already. And it's like a checklist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know, I already been with her for like 2 years. You know, I met her mom. I met her dad.
Yeah.
We went on vacation already. She sleeps over. She has a drawer. It's like, check. Okay, so now we're going to get married. I'm like, do you really want to get married? Like, is it really something you want to do?
Yeah.
Knowledge yourself, right? And the only reason I asked that is so I could gain information, so I could not dictate my life, but kind of like steer GPS style. Like, you know, I'm not going to do that. He made that mistake. Was the saying that a knowledge, what is it? A guy with wisdom learns from others' mistakes.
Yeah, like a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from others'
mistakes. Exactly. See, that's why you're here.
Yeah. Yo, it's funny you say that because I've been learning to like try to do tattoos and stuff, and I always watch tattoo critiques on YouTube.
Yeah,
of other people's like
you
crappy
learn from
tattoos.
The critiques?
So I'll sit there and watch like an hour long just critiques of a bunch of bad tattoos and a bunch of good tattoos, and they tell you what's wrong with this one, what he should have did, and it's cool because I'm learning. It's kind of like I'm apprenticing digitally because like if I was apprenticing, I'd be sitting in a tattoo shop looking at tattoos going in and out and getting. Now I'm looking at it in like a crunched time span on YouTube.
Yeah, it's kind of like us barbers. I do that sometimes when a guy cuts hair and he walks out. I look at him. I was like, "Yo, man, you should have done a little bit more, like whatever. You done a thin shear here. You should have done a shorter here." And I give him my 2 cents. Like, "Yo, but the fade was fresh, you know." Like I always give that because that's how I learned.
Yeah.
You know?
The one thing I learned is like guidelines and keys are like keys, meaning like particular parts of the head that no matter what is law to put, unless you're going to do some type of creative haircut. But
right. Give us an example.
Like, I don't know. Like I always say this, like when I used to play football and I played linebacker, as a linebacker, you kind of could be, I mean, in the NFL it's different. There's a lot more going on. In high school, you could be a linebacker and not really know anything because all I got to do is look at the guards, right? So this is what I mean by keys. The guards are your keys, meaning if they pop up, it's a pass because that means if their head goes high, that means that they're on their heels. That means they're backing up. That's a pass block.
Okay.
So now I'm thinking pass. If their head goes down, I'm thinking run because they're pushing forward.
Correct.
So those are my two things. It's either head high, pass, or head low and it's run. And now if they go right, the play's going right. Or if they go left, the play's going right. If they go right, the play's going left for me.
Okay.
So when I look at a haircut, depending on the shape of the head, this line has to go here because of this. Like the occipital,
I get it.
The occipital bone, you never put a bald line on the bone. It's either above it or below it.
Okay, but what happens if he doesn't have a bone?
Then you just go. Then there's the key. You don't have to do. You could do whatever you want there. But if he has
that's
one,
where
if he has one,
like,
it's a law to do. You got to do this or do that. You know, to make it look good. Or for me, I always tell my guys like your sections, like doing a bald line, and then your half is a finger width. Like it should be a finger width. If it's bigger, if you want to stretch it, that's different. But as far as like, say you got scissors on top and a skin fade, the section should be finger width to get a nice graduation of a fade. And there's a million ways to cut hair, but that's an efficient way to do it.
Consistent.
It's a system that you could trust that'll work all the time, every time. And it's like I said, there's a million ways to cut hair, but there's always a good way, and that you can stick with it. Like you got to trust your technique. You know,
trust your technique.
Trust your technique.
Message.
You ever been at a house call and it's like kind of dark?
Kind of.
But you know that like this
and the
movement,
chair's like all the way down there.
Like this movement does it at the shop. So this movement got to do it here, and you just send it. Like you can't really see.
It's crazy that you called your shop motion and you're talking about movement.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm more sound.
Yeah.
When I cut, if I'm at a place and I look and there's a line, and I know that this guard is supposed to cut that line, and it doesn't go, and it just glides. That's optical.
Yeah, you need that crunch.
That's an optical illusion because I'm looking at a line, I'm trying to erase it.
Yeah.
And then when I, of course, wash the hair, clean it, style it, and then he gets up from a different light, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't know that, I would be stuck there trying to fade that out. And
you
then
gotta use the mirror.
No, there is no mirror. It's a house call.
Oh,
man.
yeah. House call.
Remember, I learned how to cut in a small ass little bathroom. Client sitting on like facing the toilet, and I'm over here with one light over here, like ying, 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 and I will be like, "Yo, move your head," and then I'll be like, and then they'll look straight. I'm like, "Fuck," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I made them do this. Then I started learning. All right, you can't turn your head. You got to stay forward. So I told them, "Yo, just sit this way." Now sit this
keep
way.
turning them.
Exactly. So then I started learning. Remember, man, when I started learning, there was no YouTube, man. And barbershops, there may be one in the city. I had to go to the flea market. You know how hard it is to go at 12 years old to a flea market?
Yeah.
And
On your
then
bicycle.
Not even. We would take the bus. That shit would be crazy.
50 cents.
Dude, no, it was less. It was like 25 cents. So, yeah, man, the culture. We got to do it for the culture. We got to help them out. We got to let them know.
Yeah.
What else do you want to tell the culture, man?
I don't know. I think I think they just need to be a little bit more passionate about it. Like, I feel like a lot of people just become barbers now for the money. Well, and like you said, we used to become barbers for the fun.
Bro. It's like hip hop. Hip hop was amazing, and then people started learning about the business, and then all of a sudden, now you got people mumbling and making millions.
Yeah, hip hop is crazy now. It's not that well.
Exactly. So what I think is like, you know what?
I've been watching a lot of podcasts, man. I barely listen to music anymore, man.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Because I like to get inspired by music.
I mean, I listen to music, but I listen to stuff that's like people don't really listen to. Like, have you ever heard of Billy Strings?
No, but he sounds cool. Who's Billy
Yeah,
Strings?
so like you ever heard, I forget where it's from, but like you ever heard that saying that's like bad name, bad band. Like good name, like good band name, good band. Like if a band has a good name, it's probably fire. So I heard this cat, Billy Strings, and I put him on, and it's not like, and I would never listen to this music. I would never choose it, but I heard it, and it's gas. It's fire. He plays like old bluegrass. Like you would think that this music came from like.
Do you play it in the shop?
Yeah, and people go crazy.
Really?
They're like, "What is this?" And it's so dope because he's playing like he plays it like he's picking that guitar, going crazy. And his name's Billy Strings, and he's funny, man. He used to be like, I think he used to be an addict, or not an addict, but he said, I sent him on a podcast. He said that he smoked crack one time and played his guitar for 48 hours straight.
Don't do that.
No, he says he's like, I don't advise it, but he did it. You know, like. But like that's the type of stuff I just like going into different lanes and hearing different music and like country music and like you would never think I listen to country music, but
Country music's dope. I've always liked
it's
country.
dope.
My uncle used to listen to it, and I used to listen to records.
Yeah,
Country music.
dope, old school, like the stuff you'll play at the spot, fire. Like that music is timeless. You can't. There's nothing better than that.
Nothing.
The Al Green, the Teddy Pendergrass.
So man, like I guess today we learned that the culture needs a little bit of shaking up and people being more focused. What else do you think we need to tell the culture,
Man, I just think like don't be so quick to skip the process. Like if you're a new barber, just take your time and learn your craft. Learn how to take your clippers apart. Learn how to put them back together. Learn like the little things, like learn the in and outs.
I'm the one that, yo, Gene, can you adjust this for me? And I'm like looking at him like, dude, I have a full schedule. I don't got time to do it. Yeah. And they're like, damn, because it doesn't cut sharp. And I'm like, okay.
The clippers ain't like they used to be. Like I just got this.
Why don't you just buy a new guard or buy a new blade or something? And they're like, nah, it still cuts, but I need to. I'm like, yo, okay.
Like these wireless clippers, like I love the fact that they're wireless, but they're just the insides of them. They break all the time.
Who you talking
and they're like $200.
What, Babyliss?
No, I don't use Babyliss. I use like Wall and Andis. Those are my two.
Andis breaks on you?
No, not the Andis. Andis is solid, but like they got these new walls. They just came out. The Wall Vapors. They're
liners or
no, they're clippers. They're wireless. They're fire. Like there's like I think 28 or 38. You know how like all the
yes,
the teeth on the blade?
Yes.
There's like 38 teeth instead of like 28, and they're all ballpoint. So they don't snag the pour when you're running it on the ball fade. So and they're like 8,000 watts, like 8,000 RPM.
So they're the
like
top notch.
They're fire. But I've already gone through 4 of them. I don't know what it is. Maybe because they're new, and it's like there's some testing to go on. But the lever, after a while, it goes loose, and then you go to tighten it, and it cracks the plastic on the inside. So it's like a plastic washer.
Have you tried putting the blade on a different?
I just give it back to the guy. He bring me a new pair.
Oh wow!
But I've done it like 3 or 4 times already.
I'm gonna buy it.
Buy them. I highly suggest it, but be careful because they probably only gonna last you like 3-4 months. But just give them back to the, John.
Yeah.
Tell John to slide. He gets you right. But and you ain't getting John's number. That's that. If you know John, you know John. If not, it's over.
All right. So, anything else you want to tell the culture? You want to talk about the culture about?
That's it. I mean, just go through the process. Trust and listen to the people that have experience. I'm not saying let's take advice from anybody that you wouldn't want to trade places with, but take advice with a grain of salt and really understand when someone's telling you something, and it might sound a little hard on you, but it's out of love. It's when I tell my barbers, like, I'm trying to teach them to be better, and if I say that haircut wasn't hitting
They
like
take it
that.
to the heart.
They take it to the heart. They take it to the heart, but it's out of love.
Sensitive.
Because
everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah. When your coach stops yelling at you,
no, everybody gets a trophy, dude.
He don't care about you no more.
Everybody, you get a trophy. You get a trophy. You get a trophy. You get a trophy. Hey, you want a trophy?
Back in the day, when the barbershop was booming, I'm talking like in Pines, there were like VIP barbershop back in the day, whatever it was. Booming, the owner would walk through there, and if your haircut wasn't hitting like that, he would just be like, yo, this ain't the vibe for the barbershop. You got to just bang it.
Wow.
Because it was that much of a demand to, like, if you were slacking as a barber back in the day, there was another barber that would take your spot. Now you go get a suite. Now there's no pressure. Now it's
pressure,
you do whatever you
makes
want.
Diamonds, right?
You know what I'm saying? So now as a barbershop owner, you got to come completely different if you want to build a team, because you got to cater to the personalities, right?
Correct. But like you said, everybody wants to be a barber nowadays. Everybody wants to do it because it's glamorized.
Cool. That's cool. Why I named it Motion. I didn't name it Moon's Barbershop, because I want to build a brand that people are proud of, people could build off of.
Yeah.
Like, and even if I know how it goes, if you want to come to the barbershop, build up and do your own thing, that's part of the game, and I respect it. But I want to be known for producing good barbers.
Patience, man. Like I say, the universe never makes mistakes, man. No. I've been living by that. I've been thinking of that constantly. When I have doubts, I'm like, yo, because that's what faith's all about. I'm not a religious person because I believe we all are gods in our own way, but I understand the fact that the universe doesn't make mistakes. So if you have an energy source, that energy source is always going to give you what you need because you're giving them what they need.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For me, like, I see it like I think we see it as the same exact way, but I feel like instead of the universe is God. Like, I feel like God for me,
you call it whatever you want.
Yeah, like, but
God,
for me, I recognize it
universe,
as like
the light.
There's someone out there that, I mean, this is my perspective. Like, I don't want to make anybody mad. No, it's not somebody. Like, it's outside of human. It's
outside of our understanding.
Yeah, but for me, I feel like whatever that was, like, when, and this is my belief. I might ruffle some feathers on the podcast, but
that's what
it's all good. Like, I feel like everybody is so, like, about themselves, right? Like, and I feel like naturally everyone is about themselves, and through life we learn to have patience with others, love other people, you know. But I feel like we kind of almost put in a predicament to fend for ourselves at a young age, and
survival tactics,
right? So it's almost like the world has been messed up. There's so much evil in the world now. You got
now
always. It's been like that forever, right? But I feel like that's why whatever created God, the universe, what you want to call it. But for me, God created, and he, for me, sent somebody down here, sent his son down here to try to live a life that we all should live by. And I feel like for me, that's what I do. I'm not big into religion either, but I think that, like, because there's nowhere in the Bible that it talks about like Christians, like Christianity. Like that was a thing. Like imagine the people that were following God back in the day didn't have the Bible. They were following Jesus.
There wasn't really a religion.
Well, there was all types of stuff going on. Like imagine like the Egyptians and stuff.
It's kind of like back in our days when we had to choose a clipper. We didn't have 20, 30 of them.
No, you know what's dope? I went to London and
it wasn't
I saw
really a choice.
the British Museum, and I saw the comb from an Egyptian back, and it was fire. But anyways,
made out of bone,
how funny
right?
is this?
Bone?
How crazy is this? Cleopatra. You know Cleopatra?
Yes.
She's closer to iPhone times than the construction of the Great Pyramids.
Okay.
So even though she was a part of that, she's closer to our time than then. So just think about, just give that a little perspective. Like time is long, man. This thing goes back years and years and years and years.
I don't really believe in time.
Yeah, like time is made up, right? Like we're going off
it's
of Roman
man-made.
numeral time right now. Like
it's man-made, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
This podcast is knowledge yourself. You got to understand who you are. And people believe in whatever they want to believe in. And I respect it because why?
Yeah.
I believe in freedom.
Freedom.
What is freedom? You like something, I like something. I'm free to hate on your shit. You're free to hate on my shit.
Yeah.
Or you're free to not say anything. Freedom.
Yeah.
But if I cannot say what I think, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah.
You understand?
For sure.
And I don't like fear. So it's like, oh, fear of God, or fear doing this because God is watching. Like fear. Like
it makes sense to like if you ever like, it's funny because when I read the Bible, I interpret it for myself because like I read it. I'm not listening to like, yeah, you could listen to a pastor, but it's better for you to read it on your own because you don't want to listen to people because it says it in there like Satan quoted scripture and Jesus quoted scripture. So that's why you're supposed to read it for yourself to know the difference.
I agree with what you're saying because if I misinterpreted something, but I misinterpreted for the better of my self-being, did I really not get it, or did I get it to the point where I need it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not what that meant. This is what this means. So whatever I felt from that scripture goes away because you corrected what it is.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not what it is.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's like graffiti, dude.
Yeah.
You look at something, you know what the hell it's saying, but you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when they tell you what it is, you might not like it anymore.
Yeah,
you might be like, you might not be like, okay, yeah, I guess I liked it better when it was.
Yeah.
So that's like, when I read the Bible, that's what it was. I read it 7 times. I read it once a month for 7 months, and I read it. I didn't understand it the first like 6 times. At the end, I started more vision, more like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The only thing I never understood is how people lived 6, 7, 800, 1,200 years.
Well, in the Old Testament.
Regardless, that was the only thing that I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy because now it's like no one lives past 120. Like you can't really find anybody.
So we say because now we have a time, right?
Yeah.
24 hours, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Who is to say that might not change?
Yeah. But going back to what you said, though, about the universe and God and everyone has their own opinion. Like you got believers and non-believers and all that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, if whatever it is for you, you'll figure it out eventually because we all have to die, right? Like once we all die, we're gonna meet whoever it is. Like we're all the debate, all the religious debate.
That's another podcast.
That's over with, dog.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
K.O.S. part 3.
Yo, but it's just funny. Like it's just all about just trusting the process because the universe, the God, whatever you want to call it, for me, God will put me through a struggle, and I have to trust that struggle.
That is the faith.
That's the struggle. Like I love that because that's when I know.
It feels better.
Yeah, I'm working for this. I'm working for this for real. This isn't a handout. This isn't like it's just awesome.
That's what it's about.
You know what I'm saying?
Message.
So for the young point blank period, go through the process, even if it sucks and you feel like you're not going anywhere and you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I watched Gene's podcast. We like 500-600 views, 700 views. Like, you know what? Keep on going. And I'm telling you, this is going to be, it's going to be crazy because you have a vision and like, it just takes time and consistency and it's going to be bigger than what you know. That's why I wanted to come back because I feel like we could keep going. Like we could keep talking. Yeah, like I could come back all the time. Like whenever.
Once
like,
you said culture, I was like, all right.
Yeah, like we got to influence the young guys to be just better barbers, better men,
Better people.
take care of their children, take care of their loved ones,
Work
help
for
each other
your
out.
family. Don't work for the
Yeah.
the gram. Don't work for the views.
Pay your friends'
Don't work
bills.
for the
Like if
money.
you see your homie struggling and you over here going spending $1,000 or $1,200 on an outfit or $500 on dinner and your
Bottles.
homies are struggling,
Yeah.
look out for them. Throw them 100, 200, 300. Try to
Or
give them
give 'em
something for
free
free.
cuts, man. Just make
Take
them
them
look
somewhere.
slick.
I don't know. Like show love, man.
Show love.
That's what it's all about.
All right. Well, at the end of the podcast, I always ask you a few questions.
All right, let's go.
I got new questions.
Let's go.
All right. Just whatever comes to mind, right? Knowing or understanding?
I think knowing.
Okay. Why?
Now this is gonna go back to my perspective on things now.
Of course. It's always that. Knowledge itself.
Knowing and understanding. I think going back to the Bible and reading it, I might not understand, but I want to know because I know that one day I might understand. I'd rather,
Wow, I like that. Okay, go.
you
Keep
know,
going.
that's it. That's kind of where I want to end it. Like, I might not understand now, but I know one day I will.
Because you want to
But
know.
I know, but I just want to know that I want to know the truth, right? So if I read the truth and I don't understand the truth, that's okay. One day I'll understand it.
Damn, man, that was wow. Okay, next one.
I love this guy.
Next one. Joy or happiness?
Joy or happiness? I'm gonna go with the first one again. Joy.
Joy. Okay.
Joy.
Why is
Because I feel like if you do joyful stuff, you breed happiness. Like I feel like joy is just a manufacturer for happiness. I feel like sometimes you could be happy off of a materialistic thing, but I feel like if something brings you joy, it's like something that you protrude is coming off of you. Like
Unexpected.
yeah, it's
Okay.
joy. It's like whoa, it's a feeling. You know?
So they goes to the next question. Wealth or riches?
Wealth
Wealth all day?
all day, because wealthy people are generous, rich people aren't.
Ooh, damn. You heard that message. All right. And then the last one, good problems. What do you think about that?
Good problems. I mean, I think good problems are great. Like, if you want to have problems, you want them to be good. You know? And the good problems might not be your first choice. But I
It's
feel like
good, but it's a
dealing with
problem.
good problems helps you as a man. You don't want bad problems. Bad problems are no good. But good problems
Bring them on.
they make you grow.
They make you grow. Pressure.
Yeah. I got good problems right now.
Yes. Yes. And when you get married, there's going to be more good problems. All right, Moon, let them know where to find you, man. Let
Hey,
them know
man.
what's coming up and just spread whatever knowledge you want to
Man,
give.
I just want to say, man, shout out to Gene and K.O.S. Barber Club for having me back. You can find me at Moon the Barber on Instagram or at Motion Barbershop. I'll be there. I'm right there on 11921 West Sunrise Boulevard. So if you want to come by and get a haircut, we got a full coffee shop. We got iced coffees, cappuccinos, Americanos, you name it. I got
I gotta
pistachios,
pass by.
walnuts. Yeah, you got to come through. We're
pass
way better than Starbucks, like 1,000 times.
Nice.
Blow them out of the water.
What address? Give them the address.
11921 West Sunrise Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah, right there by the Sawgrass Mall in Broward. Yeah, come through, get taken care of, get an awesome haircut. And yeah, and then April 17th, I'll be at the Wilder in Fort Lauderdale. I'm doing an art show.
Oh, I'm going to be
My
there.
first art show this year, so I'm trying to go crazy.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to take a camera and I'm going to put this all behind the scene type of deal there, man.
You definitely got to come. It'll be fire.
All right, man. Moon, thank you. I appreciate you, man. I have love for you, man. You're the man. Guys, harness the energy. Exercise wisdom. Live, love, and laugh. We out.
We out.
Peace.